It's not about big contracts or endorsements. It's not about signing bonuses or incentives. It's about a pure love of the sport. It's about high school football. And today, it's about the championship. Tonight, the big boys of Belding are in defense of their title, but they face a speedy Chesaning team that is pumped up to be in the postseason for the first time ever. The Class B game is next. Welcome live to the Pontiac Silverdome. Fox Sports Detroit presents State High School Championship Football. Tonight, a tribal battle, if you will, of orange and black. The Redskins from Belding go toe-to-toe against the Indians of Chesaning. Good evening, everybody. I'm Fred McLeod, along with former U of M and Houston Auto running back Stan Edwards. Again, power versus speed. Who normally wins these kind of battles?
Well, in a tortoise and a hare race, if you will, what Belding's going to try to do is ground it out. They will do 3 yards in the cloud of dust from that wing T offense and see how methodical they can be moving up and down the field. But Chesaning wants to track meet. They run the option attack, and they want to make sure they can get the ball in the perimeter and move the ball downfield very quickly. Play calling is going to be very key in this contest, Fred.
This is Belding's third straight trip to Pontiac. Chesaning has never been here before, but head coach Jim Zappin isn't worried.
Our approach is going to be to play like you've been there before and go out there. It's just another football game. The field's 100 yards long, 53 yards wide, and there's 10 yards in the end zone. You're playing in a huge building with a dome over the top, but other than that, it's still the same. You still got to play football. The team that tackles and blocks the best is the team that's going to win.
And to that end, you must have a cool-handed quarterback, and the Indians have it in Ryan Brady.
Ryan Brady's the guy who spearheads the spread option attack. They rotate up to 6 backs at a time, and they can run 100 yards at any given point. These backs are very, very capable. I'm looking for them all to be very productive tonight.
If you're old enough to remember the old TV show, Love That Bob, featuring Bob Cummings,
yeah.
Well, in Belding, they say we should have a TV show named Love That Brent and Paul because of the Cummings brothers. Look at that, combining for 2,000 yards rushing this year.
Paul Cummings was the leading ground gainer this year, but Brett Cummings is a true workhorse running back in this offense. He suffered injury early this year where he thought his high school career may be over with. But what happened is that he stuck with his rehabilitation program. He's got the okay from the doctor to play last week, and this will be his second week playing. He's very pumped up and looking for a big day from the Cummings brothers, both Brian and Paul, this afternoon.
Brent is already headed to U of M. Gee, running back going to Michigan with speed. Where have we heard about that before?
Sure.
All right, for the happenings down on the field, we'll be listening to Dana Wakiji tonight. Dana?
All right, thanks, Fred. We're back here with Joe D'Angelo, Hall of Fame head coach. And Joe, we were talking earlier with Belding head coach. It's his first year here, Belding's third year. What has it been like for him this year?
Well, as he was describing, I asked how the fans are at Belding. He says they're unbelievably intense. They love their Belding football. And, you know, it's not easy following Irv Sigler, the former coach. And so coming into this game and being here for the finals has been a big relief for him.
And Chesaning, they're not afraid of the wing T offense, are they?
No, Chesaning's has seen it a couple times this year, and they have good quickness and speed, so I think they're going to give Belding all they can handle tonight.
All right, we'll send it back up to Fred right now.
All right, Dana, thanks very much. We're moments away from the kickoff for the Class B championship. Stay tuned on Fox Sports Detroit. It'll be Belding and Chesaning. Just one loss between these two teams. It should be a beaut. High school football on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Detroit Free Press. For top coverage of preps and professional sports, turn to the pages of one of the nation's top sports sections. And by Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. Well, it resembles more Halloween in here tonight as opposed to the day after Thanksgiving. On one side, orange and black, the bleacher creatures, and on the other side, orange and black. Belding against Chesaning. But I'm sure these fans know who they are rooting for. Wayne Rodell, the head coach, first year at Belding. In case you're not familiar with Michigan geography, Belding is located about a half hour from Grand Rapids, and Chesaning about a half hour northwest of Flint. But Rodell off to a glittering start as the head man, unbeaten in his first year at the helm. Chesaning to receive the opening kickoff to decide the B championship. And right away, Belding swarming little Matt Zappin, the coach's son, at the 25-yard line. Ryan Brady, the QB who loves to run the option, a very heady sort. In fact, he grew up with his backyard literally right across from the football field at Chesaning High School. So as a kid, all he had to do was walk out the backyard and watch the Indians play. And now he's the QB running the show. 24-yard line to start it for the Indians. In motion, Turner gets the football, right side. Met head on by Andy Firestein, their all-state linebacker. He's a big one, but a 6-yard gain right off the bat.
For the folks at home watching, what they want to look at when you got an option attack.
All right, let's take a look at the offensive line for the Indians. Pretty good size, pretty average, except for one big fellow. We'll be talking about him later. There you see Matt Zappin, the coach's son. He's their leading carrier in terms of number of carries. There's Brady on the option. Has some running room. Across the 40. Look at the speed. Turns the corner. He could go all the way. Brady. One man to beat. Touchdown, Chesaning. 70 yards.
Oh, my. That's the track meet we talked about in the open.
There's a wake-up call for Belding. The little speedy guys strike first.
There's the option play that's very, very dangerous. You never know exactly who has the ball. But as you can see, Brady, look at his form running. You see his elbow pumping there? That's somebody who's in high gear, who's in a full sprint.
And the point after is good. So the Chesaning Indians in their first trip to the Silver Dome saying, you know what? We're in this baby. And the Belding Redskins know it. We'll be back to see if Belding can answer on Fox Sports Detroit. Ryan Brady, the quarterback for Chesaning, just catching his breath now after that 70-yard sprint down the field.
That option attack that we talked about at the top right there is the first option with the dive to the quarterback. To his left, you can see the pitch man is not in the picture, but he decides to keep it. As you can see him going down the sideline, and he's telling everybody, come get on your horse and come get me, because it's a foot race to the end zone. And this time, Ryan Brady wins.
Andy Firestein, the big linebacker, almost caught him, but couldn't bring him down. You know, as a freshman, Brady said, I don't want to be a football player. I'm a basketball player. And Coach Jim Zappin says, wait a minute, you're too good of an athlete. I want you to play football. He did. And now as a senior, he is really happy he made that decision.
Five guys over.
So the Indians to kick it off. But what an electrical shock in this building.
Wow.
On that play.
Yeah.
Joe Ballard will kick it off for the Indians. Here comes Belding. Art Raby was brought down. And the Redskins will start at the 21-yard line. Marcus Antcliffe has only thrown 29 passes all season long. But the second key, be deceptive. That is exactly what he is. He's a magician with a football on handoffs in the wing T offense of Wayne Rodell. You will see that immediately. Brent Cummings in the backfield. Gets the first handoff, number 32. Look at the quickness. Breaks it across the 30-yard line. And a flag thrown on the play. 11-yard pickup for the U of M recruit.
As you can see, there's a back running through there. There's a face mask somewhere right there at the end of the play. It wasn't very flagrant. I'm not sure if going through that part of that wing T off we talked about. sometimes it's hard. You're reaching for the ball. You're reaching for the ball carrier. You're reaching for everything you can. Sometimes the face mask is the first thing you get to.
So the 15-yard penalty shoves it out to the 46-yard line. The Cummings brothers, I would say, run about 80% of the offense with this ball club. This time it's Paul up the middle. Breaks a seam. He can go all the way. Just like he did a week ago against Gladwin. They're trying to chase him down. Touchdown, Belding! Unbelievable.
Oh, boy.
He did the same thing last week against Gladwin on the quick inside handoff. They then faked to Brother Brent after the back, and the defense was stunned last week. The defense is stunned again tonight. 54 yards.
Fasten your seatbelts. Here we go from the middle angle. You see a dive into the line, and he looks like he's faking, but actually has the ball. And once he breaks in the open, he takes the arm off the ball and starts a foot race into the end zone. As Ryan Brady did, Cummings said, it was a track meet. Get on your horse and come get me. This time, Cummings wins.
We're going to see a lot of this tonight in a shootout, undoubtedly.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Now Belding is going to try for 2 here to take the lead. You picked your poison with the Cummings boys. This time it's Brent. Trying to muscle his way in. I don't think so. Chesaning holds. Stopped short about a half a yard from the goal line. And it's a 7-6 ball game. Andy McAlpine was in on the stop, along with some of his buddies. Man, what a start in the Class B final. We're a minute and a half into this baby. It's 7-6 already. Well, Belding down a point, and a couple of jabs, almost like a knockout punch, thrown by each side.
Here's a team that scouts itself. When Cummings comes through the line, he's kind of jogging because he looks like he's faking, but he actually has the ball and he starts to sprinting. He knows probably 80% of the night when he goes to the line, he has to come through like he has the ball. Although he wasn't in full stride, he kind of lulled the defense into think, I don't really have the ball, I'm just faking. And they kind of pulled back off him, then he started to sprint. Now, what's going to happen later on in the game is he really is not going to have the ball, and they're going to go tackling, which is going to take some of the defenders off whoever the ball carrier really is.
Well, Paul is a junior, actually 2 years younger than older brother. And already Michigan and Michigan State are sending out feelers for this young man. He's technically a little taller than older brother.
They better get him out fast.
I'll say. Cummings kicks off, high end over end. Zappin at his 15. He's awfully quick, gets across the 30 and a pretty good return. So let's see if Chesaning can answer again. Defensively, the Belding Redskins average 220 across the front line. Firestein is a great linebacker and a pretty darn good active secondary for this team. Brady throws quickly. Finding his open man, Hill gets across the 40 for the first down. Derek Hill picks up 12 yards in the play.
I like the play selection. Ran the option last play. You thought they may come back with the option again this play, but no. What they did was trying to keep the team off balance by running the quick hitch on first down. Passing on first down will make your team a lot more successful. Instead of running the play that had been successful, which was the option in the last series, they come back with and showing that the Belding defense, we have a lot of stuff we're going to throw at you tonight, so you better be prepared.
Jim Zappin said before the game, we must be able to throw against these guys to beat them. We can't slug it out with them. Brady, the option pitch. Shackelford. Or Turner at it.
Get on your horse. It's another race.
Shackelford down the way. He's going to score. Touchdown.
Oh, boy.
Anthony Shackelford goes the distance. 57 yards.
Fasten your seatbelt just a little bit tighter.
These two teams have combined for more than 200 yards, and we played a little more than 3 minutes. Watch it again on the option pitch.
I mean, you cannot commit early. Watch the dive to the right side. He reverses and comes back to the left, pitches it out, and then again, it's a foot race. You have to get on your horse and come get him.
Now they're saying no touchdown, that he was out at the 4-yard line.
Oh, maybe we can see it here on the replay. He's sprinting. I don't know.
Boy, and that was of his own volition. He wasn't shoved out.
Not at all.
Wasn't running out of room.
Yeah, he made it closer than the opposite had to be.
Boy, that was hard to tell from that angle.
Yeah, I'm not sure he stepped on the line.
He may have gotten a shoelace out.
Someone had some carrots this morning, obviously.
But Jim Zappin has been praising his team all summer and fall long about how they've increased their speed. 3 days a week, they work on speed drills, and it's paid off immensely. All right, watch it again. Left foot. And then left again. I guess. Boy, almost a technicality, because
I think so.
Nobody was going to get near him.
No, not at all. You talk about those speed drills, it's obviously been paying off. It's funny you said that. I've kind of watched some speed training in my day, and I've noticed that some of the warm-up and some of the drills some of the Chesaning players are doing on the sideline, and they're kind of like, hey, I've seen that before, you know. So obviously they're a very, not quick, a fast team.
Coach Zappin believes, and see if you back this up, that with these speed drills and proper training, you can get like a 5.1 guy, 5.1 seconds at the 40-yard dash, knock him down like a 4.6, and take a 4.6 guy and maybe knock him down to 4.4. Do you believe that?
I absolutely believe it, because I've seen it happen. I believe it.
And a lot of coaches, frankly, don't teach speed or coach speed, and Jim had to watch videos and read books to learn how to do it. So the ball at the 4 for the Indians. No touchdown yet, but they're knocking on the door with a sledgehammer. Brady, inside handoff, faked it, kept it, gets down to the 1. Boy, both quarterbacks are very clever delivering the ball and faking.
Yes, for those sitting at home watching your television screen, you're going to watch some of the best ball faking you've ever seen. As you can see, Brady come up on the center. He rides. That's the first option there. He decides to keep it. Not a whole lot of room right there, but you don't want to take any unnecessary gambles here down inside the 5-yard line.
Now Matt Zappin, the coach's son, says something to Brady. In motion, Turner. Handoff to Zappin. Did he get in? Brady is signaling a TD, but the officials are not. He is inches shy of the goal line. John Morse made the stop.
The Belding defense is starting to stiffen up a little bit here. What they're doing is just stacking the line, because they know they're not going to do too much down here to cause them. The option play is a great play in the field, but once you get down to the goal line, it's a very dangerous play, because you don't want to have that ball flying all over the place and create a turnover.
Point very well taken. 3rd and goal. The Indians need a few inches after they thought they had scored a touchdown. Brady himself. And he's in. There's the touchdown. It just took a little bit more work to get it. And Chesaning leads 13-6 with the extra point forthcoming. Las Vegas doesn't list odds on high school games, but I guess if they did, Belding would have come in here as the favorite.
I would think so. It's an odd formation for the extra point.
The kick. And it's through. Adam Anderson tacks it on. Chesaning with a 14-6 lead. My goodness, what a ball game we have in our hands.
We have 8 minutes to go in the first quarter.
We're going to be worn out.
Yeah. Well, they stayed away from the option. Just decided to go into a straight quarterback sneak, which is the safest play right down in the goal line.
Sorry, man.
Obviously, with Brady with tremendous running skills, that's the safest play you can call down there.
Well, Chesaning scored on a 73-yard drive. Belding answered from 79 yards away. And then Belding a 69-yard drive in 5 plays.
what next?
Amazing stuff. Even though Belding came into the game knowing that they were superior in size, they were wary of the speed of the Indians.
The speed is one thing.
The characteristic is that they're very hungry. They're a young football squad. They haven't had the tradition of state championships like Belding has. And, you know, I liken it to the old Clubber Lang, Mr. T, Rocky scenario, you know, for our kids who watch that kind of stuff. They're very hungry. And, you know, we have made sure all week long that we remain focused on what we need to do to win and the kind of work ethic required to do that.
Oh, Adrian. And we're not talking about Michigan, where that man went to school at Adrian College. It is a Rocky-type performance for the Indians so far. And a 14-6 lead.
Well, Belding should have some concern because not only did they have to contend with the speed of Chesaning, their play selection has been excellent so far. You know, they've shown a number of things, and Jesus Christ, I mean, I don't know what to expect next.
3.5 minutes for the 3 touchdowns. And here's the kick. It's a deep one. Through the hands of Paul Cummings. And so it'll be at the 20-yard line for the Redskins. But they are so very capable themselves of coming back. This team has averaged 38 points a game. And they have a 25-game winning streak coming in here. So you're talking about a power program. Maybe not quite to the level of Farmington Hills Harrison or Detroit Catholic Central, teams who have amassed more championships. But in Class B, this is a model program. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Hand it off. Cummings. And he is stacked up by a wall of black shirts. 2 yards in the game.
We talked about the speed on the offense for the Chesaning football team. I would think that the defense is just as quick as well. They're going to fly to the ball and try to get as many tackles as they can on the ball carrier.
Andy McAlpine, the heart and soul of that defense at linebacker. A very good baseball player. He's a shortstop. In fact, has already gotten some collegiate feelers in that sport. He calls the defensive signals. Second down and 8 at the 22. Inside handoff. And Cummings immediately is brought down. With this offense, the wing T is predicated on deception. It starts with the quarterback, but it's all play acting for the guys that also don't get the football. So if you're having trouble following the ball at home, join the crowd. You got to really concentrate. 3rd down and 6 for the Redskins. Ball given off to the fullback. And Fawson is tripped up. A 3-yard gain. Nick Fawson's first carry of the ball game. And Belding will presumably punt.
Now remember, these guys only attempted, and I'm speaking of Belding, 29 passing attempts all year. So in a number of 3rd and long situations now, they're going to run the football because that's what got them here.
So 4th down and 4 is what the Redskins are looking at. But you certainly wouldn't expect to gamble this deep in their territory. Paul Cummings would be the punter here, though we've got a timeout on the field. 6:23 to go in the first quarter. And the Redskins certainly know they are in for a football game. And all week long, they were not at all taking Chesaning lightly, even though the Indians had never been here before.
Belding needs to be careful because they're not a team that comes back very quickly. When you're a dominant running team and you fall too far behind, that takes you out of your game plan. You want to run the football, you want to grind it out. But if you go down 2 or 3 touchdowns, it can be very difficult to come back.
Belding is football country, to be sure. There you see the enrollment, grades 9 through 12. 2 championships, both under the guidance of Irv Sigler. And for those of you who follow football on the west side of the state, you know he's almost a living legend. Sigler recommended this man, Wayne Rodell, to be the head coach. He says, I'm leaving because of a contract squabble. I think you should put your name into the mix. He did, and Wayne got the job. Here's the punt. Zappin and Ballard are deep. It'll be Ballard's football. Cannot escape the first man. Brought down at the 45-yard line. So the Indians will put it in play again. Andy Firestein was in on the tackle for the Redskins.
Get a good look at Brady there, see what they got on their 3rd series coming up in this game. I think that they probably will go back to the option, kind of mix it back up, but also be concerned about them passing on first down.
Brady with a good ratio of touchdowns versus interceptions, but you see 95 attempts for the entire year. That's only about 8 a game. Brady to throw. Near side. Has Ballard at the midfield marker. Knocked away. Has to recover. He does. So he will pick up a gain of about 4 yards, depending on where they mark it. But it looks like the 49, so he'll pick up a 4.
Now, the first play of the last 2 series were hitch routes. I don't know if Brady is actually audible at the line of scrimmage, but obviously they see something where the defensive backs are playing so far off the wide receivers. They want to give him the ball to him quickly and let him go to work one-on-one. Got to protect the ball, though. He's got a bandage on his left hand. That's going to be kind of difficult for him to work an open field with one bad hand. And then he gets two hands on that ball.
Ballard, a big boy at 6'4", 195. Up man, and some confusion in the handout. Brady keeps it, though. Tripped up from behind. And a fine play for Belding. Jake Holt made the play.
Speaking of speed, Belding shows some speed of their own. I think if they don't trip him up. Talk about speed that Chesaning has. Here's Belding's speed on their defense. As Brady comes down the line, he's ready to tuck the ball under. If they don't get him right there, as you can see on your screen, there's not a whole lot in front of him. He had a lot of running room. So good pursuit by the Belding defense.
I think originally Brady was going to make the handoff, then because of the confused exchange, he decided to hang on to it. Brady in trouble. Swarmed, and he's brought down in a sack. Back at the 45-yard line. 3 Redskins got him. Doug McNeil, Darian Rowland, among others. Coach Zappin's main concern is a size disadvantage.
That was a great call defensively. And it was an obviously passing situation. And a guy like Brady, you got to get a lot of pressure on it, because when you give him room to react, you know, he's the kind of guy, if he can step back there and nobody's open, he can take the ball up under his arm and just take off and run it. So they decided to blitz, and they did a run blitz, which means they're coming at him. They want to make sure that they keep him in control, because if there's nobody open in the secondary, then also they want him to run for the first down.
We mentioned Belding averaging 220 across the front. 190 is what Chesaning averages. It's a punt for the Indians. A good one, a deep one. Sending Paul Cummins back, and he's banged out of bounds. Brent Gross laid the wood on it. So the crowd in a frenzy right now, especially on the Chesaning side. The Belding folks shown here, trying to whip up the troops as well.
How can you tell whose side it is?
You really can't. A sea of orange and black for both schools. Inside 4 minutes to go. A little maize and black mixed in there too. The Indian mascot down from Chesaning. So 1st and 10 for Belding at the 27. And up across the 30. Cummings with the football. That's Paul.
See them screaming pass, they'll bring that back right here in the end right there. So they'll be like, yeah. they're all right there, or sometimes he'll be right there.
When they see it's going to be a pass, when they're passing down?
Yeah, well, all the plays that we ran past, they brought that backer up.
Well, you see some defensive maneuvering. That was Zero Maldonado talking to head coach Jim Zappin. Maybe a suggestion or two. Ball given off to Cummings. He's tripped up. Ankle tackle there across the 35. There you see Brent Cummings' numbers, but keep in mind he missed 3 games with a shoulder injury. Last year, he ran for over 2,000.
There's a wing T coming off tackle to the left. There's a great tackle by the Chesaning defender. They're going to have to make sure that they keep Belding under control, because you can fall asleep defensively just looking at a methodical. As you can see, them Belding has gotten the first down there. Defensively, you can fall asleep just watching them run from tackle to tackle all game long. But they'll catch you one time, and what they're going to do is they'll keep running the off tackle play out of the wing T. Then they'll counter back underneath, and that's the play that can really hit you for big yardage.
Marcus Antcliffe barking out the signals. Hand off to Brent Cummings. Surges across the 45-yard line. Not only does he have the great speed, in fact, he's a 10-4 track man in the 100-meter dash, but he's got the power, as you can see, on that inside run of 8 yards.
Well, that's a tough back. They can see the 2 backs lead blocking there, and Cummings just starts powering his way, keeping his legs moving forward, and that's good positive yardage. The good sign of a good back is when he lands, his shoulders are pointing toward the goal line.
So another measurement, a little bit short this time.
Now we got second and very short coming up here. I always like to go deep on this play here, particularly when you're in running team. They've been very successful running, and I would think third in a matter of inches, what it looks like right from this point, that they'll probably pick it up on 3rd down. This is a good time for a play-action pass and see if you can go deep on it.
Yeah, you like to go long on 2nd and inches. I know Coach Bo didn't.
Not too often.
You know, Bart Starr was always given credit for doing that and kind of making that long pass in vogue on the 2nd and short situation.
Yeah.
Of course, it helped when he had Max McGee and Boyd Dowland to throw to. Ball given off inside, the first man through. Another good example there of after the handoff, both the quarterback and the runner who did not get it continue their fakes. So if you don't see that first guy through, in this case again Cummings, you can get yourself in trouble. Watch it here from this end.
You have to be very, very disciplined and very, very well drilled. If you're not paying attention, you really don't know where the ball is, as our cameraman is having problems as well. You have to make sure that you're disciplined and stay home, read your assignments, and I'm talking Chesaning defensively now, that you don't just go for any ball fake. You got to make sure you know who has the ball.
So 1st and 10 for the surging Redskins. Fake handoff now goes to Brent Cummings. Gets out to the Chesaning 45-yard line, a gain of 6. And the aforementioned touchdown run by Paul Cummings in last week's semifinal game against Gladwin. He was so open on the ball fake. Nobody was within 40 yards of him as he had a 53-yard touchdown.
Now we talk about that counter. They counted back to the left side with Cummings. And as you can see, they're starting to rip off 5 and 6 yards of carry now. Now they're starting to get into their groove and their rhythm. This is what Belding wants to do. Just methodically come downfield on them.
Brent getting a rest. Antcliffe has yet to throw a pass. Ball handed off. Inside now. And Antcliffe, I knew sooner or later I'd get faked out, and he got me on that one. Antcliffe gets down to the 35-yard line, but he is really a magician with the football.
And again, Fred, what I think is that they know that you don't know where the ball is. Everybody's got their arms crossed. The ball carrier has his arms crossed. The 2 backs that are faking all have their arm crossed. And if they know if they continue to do that, you won't know where the ball is. Because I don't know where the ball is.
Well, I'll tell you what, on the replay right there, it was hard to see where the ball was.
Exactly.
There was a time where they wore black shirts on their dark uniforms, and the officials outlawed it because you literally couldn't see the ball. Cummings back in, met head on initially. Mick Fawcett a part of the tackle, along with Brent Gross. One tough yard for Belding. So 2nd down and 9 for the Redskins. And Cook with a ball fake. He's going to pass. Everybody yelling. Everybody realizes it now. Antcliffe then runs and gets consumed as he gets across the 30-yard line, and a gain of 5. Jeff James on the tackle.
Great discipline by the Chesaning defense, because you know the pass was coming sooner or later. But again, you can be lulled to sleep by the run. Then we have the double fake in the backfield, and you can see he comes back and rolls out to his left, but Chesaning was not fooled. He tucked the ball up under, and he still got a pretty good gain off that. He still gained about 4 or 5 yards, even though he wanted to pass initially.
So at the 29, 3rd and 4 situation, but it'll come up in quarter number 2. A rapid-fire start to this one. 14-6 is the Chesaning lead after the first 12 minutes. (14-6) as we catch our breath to start the second quarter. Teams combining for 3 touchdowns. 2 of them long ones, the other set up by a long gainer. First, Ryan Brady for 70 yards.
And here's the spread option attack that we talked about. Brady faked the dive and decided to keep it himself. And man, he can sprint down that sideline like no other. And that's the first touchdown, as we can see. That's one early on in the first series of the game. And here he's Belding on offense. Their attack, they give it to the Cummings up the middle of the fullback. He acted like he didn't have the ball, and he really did have the ball. And he got on his horse and sprinted into the end zone. So we had our second score. Now we come back with reverse option attack. And the pitchman got the ball there. And you talk about speed. He's on the sideline, and it looks like he's going all the way for the touchdown. But you see right at the 4-yard line, Shackelford steps out of bounds.
And then it set up Brady for the sneak. And the point after, making it 14-6 in favor of the Indians. So ball spotted at the 29, 3rd and 4 now. Cummings still not in there, by the way. It's Patrick Jakeway as the 3rd running back option. Fake handoff. Antcliffe rolling. Flips. Caught. Paul Cummings. And did he take a look from the DB? The other 2 on the Chesaning side of things as Anthony Turner leveled him.
2-2. One of the few passes you'll see Belding do is, again, it's a rollout. They put him out into the flat. He had a running back short and a receiver deep. He decided to go short. Oh, he takes a vicious hit out of bounds. As you can see there, just a jarring tackle made him go airborne out of bounds.
Turner, a 175-pounder. Looked like he was about 210 on that lick. 1st and 10, though, for the Redskins. They are at the 20-yard line. Ball handed off inside. That is Fawcett, the fullback, for a 4-yard pickup.
Number 34.
Well, the 2 teams combining for over 250 yards in the first quarter. 145 to 114 in favor of Chesaning. And as you can see for Belding, all of their yardage on the ground. Here's the 11th play now in this drive for the Redskins. 2nd and 6 at the 16. Antcliffe faking, rolling out. Here comes the defensive pressure. Ball nearly intercepted twice, or is it? I believe it's Chesaning ball. It's whether or not it hit the ground. Andy McAlpine says he's got it. The officials say no, interception. McAlpine picked it up off the deflection from his own teammate, Brad Mikey. But the ball hit turf.
Again, the rollout to the right, and most of their pass is going to be from rollout. We maybe can get a good look and see if it actually hits the ground here. It's deflected right there, as you can see. From that angle, we couldn't see. I mean, this may be a better angle.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Oh, I don't know.
That Calpine may have gotten robbed on that one. Tough call, admittedly. Down inside the 10-yard line, Paul Cummings. A gain of 9. Down to the 8. Let's take another angle look at this interception. It was not one. Well, I think he had it, Stan.
So do I.
He pulled it in as he was spinning to the ground.
Kind of like that happened in the Lions game yesterday.
Yeah, that wasn't a coin flip there. But you're right. Fredrickson had one like that. Handoff inside. The ball was loose, but after the play was whistled down.
Making the tackle, number 8.
Paul Cummings again.
Along with number 60, Leo Hennig.
Second and 6 here.
Ball at the 6.
Actually, second and goal. I'll try to get a word on Brett Cummings to find if perhaps he has re-injured his shoulder, but he's been out for several plays now. Ball given off. Paul Cummings takes a look at the 5. Turner again.
Mr. Turner.
2 for 2 in that department against the same guy.
This kid's a vicious tackle.
Well, Cummings wants to play Big Ten football, Stan, and he's going to get these kind of hits.
Oh. As you can see, the back of Turner, 2-on-2 again. Oh, and he just sprinted right into him. That's a big-time tackle there.
So third and goal at the 4. The Redskins could certainly use their horse, Brett Cummings, here. But he continues on the sideline. Fake handoff. Antwerp has a man open. Turner. Oh! Paul Cummings could not hold on.
He had him open early. He had him open early.
So a decision for Belding.
As you can watch him fake, he's open right now. One of the most difficult things is to come off a fake and be prepared to throw the ball. Although he got the ball there, he had an awful hard time pulling it in because the gap closed between him and the defensive back. He allowed the defender to get there, and he made it a more difficult throw. What you want to do when you come off and run pass fake on the goal line, as soon as he crosses the goal line, he's open. Get it to him right now.
And a timeout for Belding. They will discuss the matter, whether to go for the touchdown from the 4-yard line or perhaps kick a field goal. But right now, the favored Redskins down by 8, and a good one at the Silverdome. A lot of scoring in this ball game, and a long drive here as Belding tries to tie this thing. We'll see if they can. There's more state championship action coming your way next Saturday with start-to-finish live coverage of all 4 games in the Michigan girls basketball finals. Our crew will be in Mount Pleasant to bring you all the hoops hysteria as the MHSAA crowns its 1998 champions. Tip off at 11 a.m. exclusively on Fox Sports Detroit. So Belding will go for it. This drive began at their own 27, consuming nearly 7 minutes of the clock.
I don't know. This is a championship game. I think you take points any way you can get them.
But Brett Cummings, their star running back, is back on the field. I would think he will get it. He does. Touchdown! How about that?
And that's why I'm sitting up here.
That's why they didn't go for a field goal. He made it look easy. And Belding now with a chance to tie it, should they go for the 2-point conversion. Credit the offensive line for creating a big hole, and the net man can certainly find it.
It was a big hole, as we see Cummings coming here off the left side here. He just lowered his shoulders and ran straight for the goal line and put his head down. I mean, other than the pressure he got at the goal line, there was nobody they got any kind of penetration in the backfield that caused him to change his course.
Nate Brown, Bill Mason, Carl Bowerman, Justin Palethorpe, and Eric Fossen, the big guys up front for Belding. Now they'll try from a yard closer for a 2-point try. In motion, Brent Cummings. Antcliffe throws, caught, back of the end zone, and 2 points added on for the Redskins. Darren Hall hauled it in. Hall has caught 3 touchdowns in the playoffs alone, and now he grabs a 2-pointer.
See the fake, and that's the bread and butter off their passing plays, their play actions. Antcliffe, he looked at his first option, which was covered, then he decided to go to his second option, the wide receiver, back in the end zone, uncovered by anyone for 2 points.
So the Redskins back even off the Cummings touchdown and the 2-point conversion. We're dead even at 14. 14-14 tie. That young man will be tuned into Fox Sports Detroit Wednesday night. No doubt about that, because of the Red Wings and the Avalanche. Renewing their rivalry with Patrick Waugh, Claude Lemieux, Joe Sakic, and the Avalanche. Live coverage begins at 8:30 with Fox Sports tonight. Red Wings pregame. It's the Wings and Avalanche from the Mile High City on Fox Sports Detroit. Well, the Belding folks right back in it, along with the followers of Chesaning, as Paul Cummings will kick it off. A little more than 3 minutes gone of this second quarter. Turner, Zappin, and Shackelford deep for Chesaning. It's Zappin. Gets out to about the 25-yard line, where the Indians will go back to work. See if Coach Zappin sticks with his game plan of a lot of option and some passing. Or go behind the mammoth left tackle, number 60 there, Leo Hennig, just a growing young boy, 6'5", 298. He's a sophomore in schools already. I'm talking big-time Division I schools. Looking at this kid, he's very nimble and nifty and huge and still growing. Big handoff on the option. Brady keeps on the short side, forced out of bounds at the 30. Andy Firestein there to beat him, along with Mike Wright. In fact, Coach Zappin says this is the best offensive lineman he's ever been associated with. And again, we're only talking about a sophomore stamp.
Yeah, he's got good feet. The way he came off the ball, it wasn't a crushing block there, but you can tell the way he comes off the ball that this kid's going to be a great one. As a sophomore with that kind of feet, he's only going to get better.
And 298, he doesn't have baby fat. The yardage battle, only a difference of 8. In motion, Shackelford, handoff inside. Not much going on there, as Brandon Warner brought down Adam Belding. Clock continues to tick, 8.5 to play until halftime. The Indians lost their first game of the season, trailed game 2 at halftime, and the coach peeled the paint off the walls at halftime and said, look, if we're going to be as good as we think we are going to be, we'd better turn it around. They did, and they haven't lost since. Brady to throw. Finds open man, Ballard. He's going to try to go the distance.
Get on your horse.
Ballard, good, bye, touchdown, Chesaning.
See ya.
68 yards. Well, Belding head coach Wayne Rodell used the Rocky analogy to this particular football game on another solid right hand thrown by the Indians.
Nice sharp ball by Brady, just a hitch route right there, and that's the athleticism of Ballard. He beats his one man. Now it's a foot race again, and there's been a number of foot races today, and Chesaning has won most of them.
But look at the speed of the big guy. Again, we get back to that speed training as Chesaning tacks on the point after. Ballard's nearly 200 pounds. He ran away from a smaller defensive back.
Yes, he did. I mean, actually, once he cleared his man, as you can see right here on the hitch route, he catches it right there. He's got one man to beat. That's his. Then there's a defensive that closes right there. After he gets in stride, he starts to open that lead up a little bit. And the kid realized at that point, hey, I'm not going to catch this guy. Let me try to dive at him.
His head coach feels that Ballard has the most potential to play college football of any of his players. And with that size and speed, you can see why.
But that's saying an awful lot because he has some true ball players on the squad.
Well, as a defensive back, he's a lethal hitter. We haven't seen any yet, but stay tuned. So again, the folks in the Belding side have to say, all right, let's keep our composure. 21-14 in favor of the Indians. This is more like the Cowboys and the Indians where they're going after each other.
Exactly. Or the Cowboys and the Vikings.
Yeah, no kidding. Touche. Well, if you saw that yesterday, it was an offensive shootout, particularly for the Minnesota side. And darn if we aren't following that trend here tonight. 35 points combined so far. We have not even played a quarter and a half yet. Most of the town of Chesaning is here. And right now, most of the town is on its feet. Shouldn't be looking so glum on the Belding side. I mean, it's only a 7-point game.
Yeah, cheer up. It's not over yet.
It very well could come down to who has the final possession in this thing. I guess it's called war paint, huh?
Yeah. Things people do I'm just saying the things people do to get on the diamond vision.
All well worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
So Ballard, they just had the touchdown. We'll kick it off. Cummings and Antcliffe. Deep for Belding. Raby is also back there. And it will be Raby on the return. Smothered at the 18. Belding takes over. They had a long touchdown march the last time.
Belding need to get rattled here. It's only one touchdown with a point lead. It's still very early in the game. They need to stick with their game plan.
Belding's 25-game winning streak is on the line. Their last loss in this building against Jackson Lumen Christie in the '96 title affair. In motion, Brent Cummings. Ball given off to Fawcett. Muscling across the 20, protecting the football. A gain of 3. Second and 7 coming up.
I mean, the game is won and lost in the trenches. As you can see down there on the option play, there's just a lot of hitting going on down there. And it's only survival of the fittest. We're looking at all the skill position players getting all the big play and the names called, but those guys in the trenches are doing an excellent job on both sides of the ball.
Antcliffe calls out the signals. Ball given off to Paul Cummings. Surges across the 30. It'll be a first down for Belding. He picked up 8. Jeff James brought him down.
So watch this, Cummings in the backfield. Off tackle to the left. Nice nifty move right there. Sprints upfield. Constantly moving forward. He learns from one of the best, his big brother.
What's the tougher offense to run, this wing T or the option attack at Chesaning?
I think the wing T is probably a tougher offense because you have to be extremely disciplined, make sure you carry out your fakes all the time.
First and 10 at the 31. Brent Cummings in motion again. Ball handed off the up man. Paul Cummings finds a seam. Now turns on the Jets. Has to get away from 5 black shirts at the 45.
Exactly.
Cummings a 24-yard gainer.
When we talk about the ball fakes of Belding, as you can watch, when Cummings breaks in the open, he doesn't take his hand off the ball right away. he's still pretending he's faking. Now, he should be sprinting 3 or 4 strides before that. Then he finally decides to take it off and starts to run. He's keeping his extra hand over the ball to simulate that I really don't have it, I'm faking. And what it's going to do is cause a defender to hesitate momentarily to allow him to get more yardage downfield. Now he's running through there, and he's kind of just, okay, I'm just really faking, Knowing that I got the ball, I'm really running. So now you can see him with the ball up on his arm now. He's out trying to get extra yards. But generally a back, once you get in the open, you take the other hand off the ball and you start to sprinting. They're keeping an extra hand on the ball, which I think is a good idea. That's come from, again, scouting yourself, and you know what people see and what you show them. That you cause people to not really go at you so aggressively. They're kind of a little bit passive, and it causes you to break free like you just did on that last play.
But holding the football that way, remember this name from the past? John Ferguson of Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
In the 60s?
Exactly.
That's the way he would carry the football. You know, it's almost become a lost art. You don't see guys, you know, carrying the ball that way with 2 arms wrapped around it.
Exactly.
Jim Zappin played his high school football at Chesaning. Wound up going elsewhere to coach and then came back when the opening occurred. But he came back with the idea of actually being an assistant, and then he was promoted to the head coaching job. And he's done a fine job here. He's had back-to-back winning season. 9 wins a year ago. In motion, Fawcett. Ball given to Brent Cummings to the outside. He's bumped out of bounds hard at the 30. Ballard was there. So is that man Turner again. A 15-yard pickup for the Redskins. You can hear the pop all the way up here.
How when the younger brother Cummings ran around the corner, he got kind of knocked out of bounds. This is a little bit more meat, a little more beef here. You're not just going to knock him down. As you can see, he take on Ballard as a tackler. Kind of leaned his shoulder into him and said, I'm not going to really have none of that. You can take my little brother out, but you're not going to take me out.
And he, too, will take those Big Ten licks next year as a freshman in Ann Arbor.
Well, look at those calves on him. Those are sprinter calves.
Not bad for a running back either, right?
No, if I had calves like that, I'd still be playing.
Paul Cummings, the inside man. Gets it across the 25. First and 10 carry. Jeff James finally tripped him up.
Tackle made by number 51.
They'll spot it at the 23 as we're halfway through the second quarter.
Now we go to the dive play to the other Cummings. Straight ahead running.
And second down.
They're sticking with their bread and butter.
Second and 3 off the 7-yard pickup. And with the handoff off the fake, it's Fawcett. Keeps his footing. Muscles across the 10-yard line. Fawcett looked like Brent Cummings carrying the football that time on a 13-yard gallop.
That's the other guy in the backfield that you have to contend with.
The tackle made by number 2, Anthony Turner, and number 80, Joe.
Fawcett comes back on the counter, breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Great balance, flattens out, goes straight ahead toward the goal line.
So the ball at the 10-yard line off Fawcett's run. He's a 6'2", 210 junior fullback. Ball given off inside. Paul Cummings. Touchdown, Belding. And there's Dad Cummings. Wes, the athletic director. Very cool and calm. Not even cracking a smile. As Paul scores his second TD of the ball game, but he will accept a handshake for it.
Great trap blocking by the lineman. And that, oh God, if we can see that one more time, that was a great play, and it goes back to how the faking caused earlier. Ballard got faked so bad. I don't know if we'll see it from this angle. As you can see the ball given to Cummings. The trap play right there by 61. Ballard crossed his face because he wasn't sure he had the ball.
So the Redskins will try to take the lead with another 2-point conversion try. Ball given off to Cummings. They get it. Belding takes its first lead at 22-21. And Dad recording it for posterity. Not all football fathers have that kind of contraption to work with.
Tell me about it.
You don't, do you, Dad? Your son plays high school football, but I've never seen you in that one.
Yes, he does, but talking about the Cummings here, look at 80 Ballard right there. He goes right past Cummings because he wasn't sure he had the ball. Going back to the faking that he was doing earlier, not sure if he has the ball or if he's just faking. Ballard went right past him. He could have made a play and stopped him inside the 5-yard line.
So the Cummings boys have combined for more than 170 yards rushing so far. Paul with 122. And Brent, only because he was getting taped up again, not re-injured, only has the 6 carries.
But Fred is still the first half.
43 points so far for these two teams.
Turner, you go to the middle. Come on out. James!
Jim Zappin aligning his kick return unit.
No, you go back.
He loves the chemistry of his football team. In fact, he did some reading called The Winning Edge, a book written by Bill Walsh. And Walsh advocated having 2 captains for the season and then 2 captains for every game alternating each week. And that's what Zappin has done. And he says that's kind of drawn his team closer together, finding new leaders each and every week. Whatever he's doing, it's a recipe for success with Chesaning 11-1 at the start of tonight's play. Anthony Turner fields. Takes a pop. And he gets to the 30-yard line.
Or some big-time hitting going on out there, Fred. Big-time hitting.
Yeah, you would think in an offensive show that it's all O and no D, but he takes a lick.
I mean, the Belding coverage team is flying down there. And they're just coming down with reckless abandon, just throwing their bodies at the ball carrier.
Mike Wright, number 24, smacked him. And he stays out there at his cornerback position. Belding with a drive of 81 yards. Took less than 3 minutes. Brady under center as the Indians are down for the first time. Ball handed off to Matt Zappin. Ooh, he's crushed from behind by big Doug McNeil. Zappin is only 5'5". Zappin was at the Silverdome as a ball boy, by the way, back in 1991 and 92 when his father was the assistant coach at Saginaw Arthur Hill. And Matt said, "Dad, someday I want to come back here and play." He was prophetic. He's playing for the Class B championship. 2nd and 8. Ball given off inside again. No, it's an option toss. Turner, they didn't fool the Belding defense. Reversing field. Turner in trouble. Gets away from one man. Gets away from a second, across the 40-yard line, and a first down pickup. Doug McNeil brought him down, but a great piece of Barry Sanders-type ad-libbing by Mr. Turner.
Well, the option attack is an attack that people fear most of the time. But as an offensive coach, sometimes you get concerned because sometimes pitching a ball like that can put you in an awkward situation. But when you have team speed, you can get out of those awkward situations such as they did right here. I thought he was going to get caught in the backfield. He turned to a play that should have been lost for 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Turns into a first down play.
But you saw him kicking in that extra gear there once he knew he was in trouble.
Yes.
Well, maybe a year ago, he doesn't do that without that speed training. Brady. Again, the toss to Turner. Across the 40 and midfield. Dragged down from behind by Firestein, but at the 45-yard line, a 25-yard gallop.
And remember, Turner plays defense also, so and he seems to be a little bit hurt now. Yeah, he might be a little hurt. Yeah, probably a little winded as well.
Might have fallen on his right wrist, so we'll check on his condition.
Now, he caught the pitch on the last play, and he ran for a first down. Now he catches it again. Still got enough jets to bend the corner. He's sprinting upfield. He gets pulled down right there, and he falls right there on his right wrist. Get another look at it. Let's see.
Brady throwing. Ballard gets away. On the sideline, gets a block from McAlpine. Touchdown, Chesaning.
See ya.
Ballard, second of the night. The shootout at the OK Corral continues. 37 yards, Brady to Ballard. But credit Andy McAlpine with that block to spring him into the end zone.
One of the most fundamental plays of your passing attack is a 10-yard hitch. Run 10 yards, stop, the quarterback gets you the ball, you must beat the first man. And when you got speed after that, the rest is on your own. This kid can play.
And the point after try. It's wobbly, but it's good. Kind of dripped over the crossbar. And Adam Anderson will take it, 28-22.
Was a three-step drop. Brady gets it to him right away, and all he has to do is go to work. As a defender, you want to come up and make sure you square and get a good tackle, but he didn't have the opportunity to do that. Once he sprinted away from me, it was just a sprint into the end zone.
And McAlpine ushered him into the end zone. So Ballard on 3 grabs for 109 yards. That's Turner still in some pain. But he's a tough kid. He's a two-way player for this squad. 1 of 4 in that Chesaning lineup that plays offense and defense, which would make this win for Chesaning, if they go on to do it, even more impressive because they play guys both sides of the football.
Yep.
Belding does not. A total platoon system for Belding, so you would think they would be fresher.
Exactly. One thing about when you're going to play both sides of the ball, you have to have speed and you have to be in top condition.
Brady with perhaps his best game of the season. So far, anyway. Already over 100 yards passing. He averaged about 70 yards a game through the air during the season. .307 to play in the first half. What a wild affair.
Remember the movie Speed with Keanu Reeves? Speed 1, Speed 2. This could be Speed 3. I mean, I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat because it hasn't slowed down yet.
The sequel. Ballard to kick it off. Took Chesaning less than 2 minutes to answer with their touchdown. Ravy on the return. Met head on. Textbook tackle, ball was on the ground. Chesaning football. Big time hit there. Made by Joe Monroe.
Well, I thought it was down from up here.
Linebacker.
Yeah.
And he came up with a huge play. He primarily plays on special teams, but he stepped up huge with a hit.
Well, from up here, it looked like he was down, but I guess he wasn't. As you can see right there. Oh, no. He let go of the ball. The knee had not touched the ground yet. Looking at it from a better angle here, we can see that he tries to keep his balance, and in doing so, he loses the ball before his knee touches.
Boy, excellent replay there to show. Brady on the option, turns the corner to the 15. Flag goes down.
Oh, Brady.
Inside the 5.
Great stutter step by Brady.
Let's see what the flag is, though. It's a hold.
Here.
And it'll bring it back.
Here, you'll take it back. Good thinking. We're going to go 10 from here. 10 from here, Don.
With the wide angle shot here, we'll see if the hold is coming on the wide receiver or not. But watch this stutter step by Brady. Watch, he stops, lulls him to sleep, and goes by him again. Boy, that's great. I don't know if they were calling Ballard for the hold or not, but it was somewhere.
I think it was McAlpine earlier on the play.
Okay.
But it could have been 80 Ballard down near the goal line. Well, we think it was Ballard. We didn't get a clarification from the referee. So the ball at the 21-yard line. 2:51 to play in the second quarter. And a 1st and 11 for the Indians. Brady still has it. He goes down. Ryan Brown was there. So is Doug McNeil. The two pals in this Belding defense. Second sack for Belding.
That's the option pass that we talked about earlier. That's a dangerous play, but they had a blitz called there, and they had obviously timing play. You called the right play at the right time, and called the wrong play at the wrong time.
So a 2nd and 20 situation now as the Belding defense stiffens. Brady to throw. Up top, looking for Hill. Oh! I don't even know if his feet would have been inbounds had he hung on. It would have been tight, but Hill could not hang on anyway. Josh Feeman defending for the Redskins. Pretty good touch toss, though, by Brady.
Yeah, puts a lot of air under this ball. And for a minute, I didn't think it was going to get there, but I think he may have gotten 1 foot down, but it's been awfully close had he caught the ball.
So it's now 3rd and 20 for the Indians.
I think what they want to accomplish on this play here is at least getting back into field goal range, if not a first down. They do have room for a first down without getting a touchdown.
Anderson's range is about 30 yards, so they need to get to the 23 at least. Brady feeling the pressure, has to come near side, being chased, throws back across the grain, almost intercepted. Should have been, actually.
That's a difficult pass to throw.
Bobby Mosier had it hit him in the numbers.
Only very few people can do this. Brett Favre is only one of the one I know that can do it, that you can run across the field to your right and throw back across your body on the opposite side of the field. Generally, when you do that, you're asking for trouble. And he almost got it there. Luckily, it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that ball hung up a long time. So 4th and 20. Certainly, again, out of Adam Anderson's kicking range. Belding split wide to the left. Zapping in the slot. Hill wide to the right. Brady passing. Has time. Goes for Ballard. Jump ball. Broken up beautifully. At about the 2-yard line, Bobby Mosier was there.
It's a good play. It's 4th down. You don't have room to punt. And you're out of your field goal range. Why not throw for the end zone?
So Mosier makes amends for the dropped interception a play prior.
Straight drop back pass for Brady. Needs to put a little bit more air on him. Ballard was starting to come open. He had to get rid of the ball.
Joe thought he should have had it. So 1:52 to go in his frenetic first half. Belding will try to come back. Off their turnover. Brent Cummings in motion. Ball handed off to Paul Cummings. Forces his way near the 35. A gain of 5. That's Brady. Perhaps irritated at himself a little bit. Now exhorting the troops. He's a backup defensive back on this Chesaning squad. But they need him at QB tonight. 2nd and 5 for the Redskins. Ancliffe rolling, throwing, has a man cut across midfield. Ty Gasper pulled in his first reception of the night. One of their offensive captains.
They're not quite the 2-minute offense, but they're kind of rushing in and out of the huddle, obviously. See if they can get in maybe field goal range and try to throw it in the end zone before this half is up.
Ancliffe on target. An 18-yard pickup. Ball at the Chesaning 48. Ancliffe again rolling. Could he throw 2 times in a row? No, now he's running. Met hard and head on by the Chesaning defense. Adam Anderson, who also kicks, made the stop. What a baby face there, huh? Doesn't look like he should be playing football.
Maybe in the Pop Warner League. As you can watch Antliff as he rolls to his right, all the receivers were covered. He came back to the left. He kind of giving a little direction there, but Adam Anderson with the baby face came with a man-sized hit on that play.
So a timeout with the ball at the 45. Wayne Rodell wants some points. But with just 42 seconds to play, they have to go against their offensive philosophy, and that would mean putting the ball in the air. You mentioned it earlier, only 29 passes thrown by Belding all season long in 12 games.
That's an amazing feat within itself. I would think you would just pass more just to work on your passing game sometime throughout the season.
Just to keep defenses honest a little bit.
Exactly.
Some of the squaws here tonight for the Chesaning Indians. It's the Showboat City, as you folks probably know, around the state of Michigan, where they have the summer concerts on the Shiawassee River, if you will. Tennessee Ernie Ford has been there, the Oak Ridge Boys. But right now, this town is known for its football. 2nd and 7. They're showing blitz. Early movement.
Yeah.
There's a flag. This will come back. Antcliffe throwing. Ball picked off. It won't come back. Chesaning's going to hold on to this football. We assume now that there was no offsides as the ball was picked off.
It appeared that the man in motion started toward the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped.
You had the motion man moving forward?
Yeah, 34, right. Okay, they declined the penalty. It's going to be Black's ball right here.
Right. We got an illegal motion here. Black.
So Shackelford's interception stands, and Chesaning dodges another bullet, perhaps.
You're right in this shot here. You won't see the man in motion going toward the line of scrimmage before the ball snapped. But they tried to go deep and try to get in field goal range, but they had Chesaning defenders playing the ball deep to find that get the interception. You can see he's going for Cummings there. He's completely covered. And Chesaning came up with interception.
So the Indians with 35 seconds to go in the first half at their own 11. They will play it safe here, keep it on the ground. They're going to down it and let the final half minute elapse and close the book on a very memorable first half here in the Class B championship game. These two teams have scored more points than most games come up with in 4 quarters of action. We still have 2 quarters to go.
I mean, this is going to be a truly exciting first half.
Not only have you had a lot of scoring, but you've had a lot of big plays.
Yeah. Belding's used to scoring a lot of points. They average over 40 points a game.
And they do it with big plays, with the Cummings brothers leading the way. Standing ovation on both sides of the field from the black and orange pom-pom waving fans of Chesaning and Belding. No wonder these two schools have put on one heck of a show here tonight at the Silverdome. And there's plenty more to come. 28-22, the Indians in this back and forth affair, leading by 6. Belding's 25-game winning streak on the line here tonight in the B title game. Don't forget 4 more games coming your way tomorrow in the Double D, Double C, Double B, and Double A games beginning at 10 in the morning here on Fox Sports Detroit. All right, let's go down to Dana Wakiji, who has a guest. Dana?
All right, thanks, Fred. Here with Coach Zappin of Chesaning, who is ahead at the half. Coach, obviously you've proven in the first half that you've been able to move the ball offensively. Is there anything you're going to do defensively differently in the second half?
Well, I don't know. They're awful tough. Their offensive line really comes off the football. We just got to try to hang in there and force, long yardage situations for them. We had them a couple times, and I thought we got the pick down there at our end zone and about down deep for us, and officials ruled otherwise. And we missed a big opportunity here just before the half to go up, another score. But it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I think whoever has the football last probably is going to win.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. All right, back up to you, Fred.
All right, Dana, it'll give us a chance to catch our breath. And a wild and wacky first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll chat with the boss of the High School Athletic Association, plus the usual stats and highlights as we return on Fox Sports Detroit. 28-22 our halftime score, and if you're a tennis aficionado, it was sort of like watching John McEnroe and Jimmy Connors belt the tennis ball back and forth, because these two teams were having the fans going like this with touchdown and an answered touchdown back-to-back.
Well, I've never seen anything like this, particularly in high school football. These teams are very well drilled and very well prepared. It's not too often you see a team score like that on both sides of the ball. I mean, these guys go up and down the field like it's a track meet. And boy, I tell you, the second half is going to be just as exciting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Here's what we look at on the first half. Look at the first touchdown, Brady on his touchdown run. He faked the option up the middle, and then he kept the ball and went down the sideline. It's just a sprint, and he outruns the Belding defense.
Then keep your eye on number 2 for Belding in the backfield. He gets the ball up the gut.
Now you see him, now you don't. That's one of the Cummings brothers. That's Paul Cummings, as you can see him. He's faked up like he didn't really have the ball, but actually did have the ball, and he was able to sprint up down the sideline and score on Belding's first point. And then again, we have Brady again on the quarterback sneak for Chesaning's second score. And now we go back to the other Cummings brother, Brent, scoring off left tackle for Belding's second score. And then we have Ballard, who's one of the top wide receivers in the state, to catch a quick hitch route and just sprints down the sideline. You know, I mean, this guy is just absolutely fantastic. He beats his 1 minute, just sprints down the sideline. Now we're going back again, as we can watch the other Cummings brothers score a touchdown. I mean, these guys are just going back and forth. Again, we go back and we look at Brady going to Ballard. Ballard, the same play, he sprints down the sideline again, and before he gets in the end zone, he knows nobody's going to get me here. I'm just going to ease right down the sideline because I know I am the man. I mean, these guys are just so fantastic and so exciting. Man, I can't wait for the second half. This is truly, truly one heck of a football game.
Ballard a junior, so is Paul Cummings. So these guys are saying, hey, what do you see us as seniors as they're displaying their wares here in the Class B state championship game? All right, displaying their wares also on the field, the Chesaning Marching Band. Let's listen in. Job well done, and a standing ovation for the Chesaning Indians here at halftime. We'll be back to look at the wild and wacky numbers, statistically speaking, in this first half after this break. Fox Sports Detroit proud to bring you the boys state football championships, and tonight the Class B tilt 28-22 in favor of Chesaning over Belding. Fred McLeod, Stan Edwards with you, and what has been one heck of a basketball-like scoreboard here in the first half. And statistically, these two teams kind of coming close to what they do average-wise for an entire ball game. These two teams combine and go down to the total yardage figure of 290 to 249 in favor of Chesaning. These two ball clubs average almost, give or take a few yards, 325 yards a game, and they almost have that total in the first half.
I know some teams would love to have that for a game as opposed to just having it for first half. I think what happens a lot of times that teams just get overconfident in their ability to do that, and they come back and they kind of get lost in the second half. Not these two teams. These guys will try to put more numbers up in the second half. I think what Belding really wants to do in the second half is continue to pound it out, ground it up the middle, and see if they can score methodically the way they've been doing all the time. Chesaning, on the other hand, defensively, they want to tackle the fullback. The fullback has kept them running around the field, not knowing where the ball is. And I think if they tackle the fullback, and that's Paul Cummings, they can be successful in stopping some of Belding's big attack up the middle.
Yeah, Chesaning, for example, has more than doubled its per-game norm in the passing yardage department. Let's head down to Dana, who has Coach Wayne Rodell.
All right, thanks, Fred. We're here with Coach of Belding. Coach, now you were able to do some things offensively in the first half. Is there anything you can do differently defensively in the second half to stop their big plays?
Well, I tell you, we got to wrap up and tackle. They've got tremendous speed on offense, and we aren't running the ball real well right now. So we've made a couple slight adjustments that hopefully will get us there faster, and then it's just a matter of running to the ball and playing football.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. Thank you very much. All right, Fred, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, so we await the kickoff to start the second half, as indeed more offensive fireworks expected between these two clubs. We'll return in a moment. So for the Redskins of Belding, as you heard the coach say, they've got to do a better job of tackling. This is certainly the fastest team they have played this year, Stan. And do you think that's maybe playing a little bit of mind games for the favored Redskins?
I think it has. They've not seen a team this fast before, and they don't want to do. He talked about doing a better job attacking. I think particularly he's talking about on those hitch passes to Ballard, where he caught him in the flat, shook one man, and ran into the end zone. Look out for Chesaning doing a hitch and go late in the game, because they've already burned him on the hitch pass, so you think they're going to cheat up and try to get him a lot sooner. They may just fake the hitch and go deep and throw it over their head.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's flashback, which takes us back to the 1994 Class B Finals. These Belding Redskins, with a different vintage, buried in a 19-point deficit against Detroit Country Day. But the Redskins took over the second half with touchdown after touchdown, upsetting Detroit Country Day 50-41, thus setting a Michigan high school record for the largest comeback and most points scored in finals history. 91 points. And right now, we're over halfway there with the 50, which breaks the finals record for most points combined in a half. And it broke that record in '94, as a matter of fact. That's all four classes considered, by the way. So you've been a part of history here tonight, watching these two teams do a little tango. So the Redskins will receive the kick to start the second half. Ballard to boot. And they let it go into the end zone, so Belding will start at the 20-yard line.
One of the rules in high school is once the ball on the kickoff crosses the plane of the goal line, it's an automatic touchback. You can't run back there and bring it out a la college or pros. Once the ball crosses the plane of the end zone and goes in the end zone in high school, it's an automatic touchback. The ball is dead.
Quarterback Marcus Antcliffe, 2 for 4 in the first half, which is more than he averages per game. He averaged about 3 attempts per contest during the regular season and playoffs. Ball given off inside to Paul Cummings. Stacked up after a pickup of a couple of yards.
One of the things we talked about at halftime is tackling the fullback Cummings, because he's going in there carrying a lot of fakes, and that's the guy I think that hurt him most in the first half.
Opening a minute play of the third quarter. You got to wonder if maybe the war of attrition will include the fact that Belding platoons their players. No one doubling up offense and defense, but Paul Cummings with very good numbers already. Ball handed off inside. It's Fawson. Tripped up as he gets to the 25-yard line, and a pickup of 2. That'll bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Redskins. Dangerous passing territory here, and they don't like to put it up. They need to get to the 30.
Look like an injury timeout.
The nose tackle is down, but he's okay. But it's Turner coming off, I believe, and he was the young man who was hurt in the first half. No, it is not. It is Matt Zappin.
It is Zappin, yeah.
Head coach's son. Smallest man on the field for the Indians at 150 pounds. But he's a tough kid. As they work on that left hand. He'll be back in. 3rd and 5. Ball given off. No, it's not. It's a fake. Ankle throw. Pushed down. Ball knocked out of bounds. No, it's inbound. Recovered by Chesaning. The Indians have it. Andy McAlpine came up with a football for the Black Shirts.
Boy, that's got to be frustrating for Belding. They don't pass the ball a great deal. And when they finally do put the ball up, one of the few times they get a fumble. I think it's a great call because they've been running on 3rd and long most of the first half. They come back in the second half in the first 3rd and long situation. They fake the dive off tackle and then throw it in the secondary. The ball comes in. He doesn't protect the ball. The Chesaning defender put his helmet right on the ball and they recover the ball inbounds. Chesaning ball on the 34-yard line. You can see it again. He's almost out of bounds, but an unlucky bounce for Belding. The ball stays in bounds.
Jeff Ballard made the hit. He had the 2 touchdown receptions for the Indians. The inside handoff. A gain of about 3 as they continue to work on Matt Zappin.
Looking at his fingers, see if he has any feelings, and maybe what they call a pinched nerve. When you get a burner, the whole hand goes numb and you can't really feel it. Trying to see if he got any feeling in his left hand.
A gain of 2 by Adam Belding. Well, you know the stomachs of the 2 head coaches must be churning now. Brady on the handoff. Nothing. 1 yard to be exact. As Belding had nowhere to go. At the bottom of the pile, big Doug McNeil. So it's 3rd and 7 coming up.
This Belding defense has not played bad today. They've given up a number of big plays. Other than that, they played pretty much contained the running game.
Patrick Brown also a part of that play on the defensive front for the Redskins. In motion, Turner. Brady keeps. He's swarmed at the 30. Way short of the first down. Another hard-earned yard. And the Belding defense to the task on this series.
Kind of in between. It's too close to punt. Not quite long enough to go for it on 4th down. It looks like they are going to go for it.
But just excellent pursuit as you see it again.
As you can see the defense, they're all over the ball. Brady doesn't have anywhere to go. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tackles on him. Great pursuit by Belding defense.
Brady to throw. Open man. Caught. Still on his feet. Anthony Turner. Touchdown. Chesaning on 4th down. Yeah!
I thought he was going to take a big shot there. The ball hung up there and looked like the Belding defender was going to come jarred and loose, but he didn't come give him quite the hit I thought he was going to give him.
A big-time play by a young man who was hurting in the first half physically.
The option pass again. Brady's dropped back. He fakes the dive up the middle. Hit it play right there when I thought he was going to get a big hit and maybe jar the ball loose, so cause an incomplete pass. Turner stayed with it.
And then the 2-point conversion is also good. Adam Belding gets it in. So the Indians for the first time tack on 2. The replacement for Matt Zappin, Adam Belding.
Again, as I talked about earlier, it's an odd formation for an extra point. They did a quick toss to the up back on the extra point formation and just ran into the end zone.
Good job on the replay, guys, catching that one, because Belding was certainly caught napping as they fooled him, getting the 2 points and making it a 12-point spread. But
here, one try again.
Bring it back. I didn't even see a flag thrown. It was a late one. So they will move it back 5 yards. Same alignment. And now they'll go back into the conventional kicking alignment. Adam Anderson. A 30-yard extra point. Line drive, no good. So the holding penalty costing the Indians 2 points. And in this game, they could be huge. 34-22 our score. What a football game. Anthony Turner saying, take this, Belding. The Redskins with an answer coming back. Well, it truly has the feel of a basketball game in here. And look at the point total, 64. And we still have better than a quarter and a half to play at the Silverdome. I mean, it does sound trite to say the last team with the football may win this ball game, but it's true.
Who has the momentum? I'm not sure if I know.
And you're the expert analyst, so we're really in trouble. Brady, the quarterback, on the kickoff, weaving his way. Look at this. Near midfield. Couldn't break the tackle, but a brilliant run back brought down by Paul Cummings.
The team who has the football has the momentum. And right now is Ryan Brady and Chesaning. As you can see, he stops and points. He sets everybody. He gets all the coverage men to come in. Then he finally sprints upfield, breaks it to the outside. And Ryan Brady has a lot of speed. He had one man to beat. And I thought he was going to be able to beat him there, but he did not. Cummings had opportunity to grab him by the ankles and bring him down. But the Chesaning MVP of this game is Ryan Brady.
Matt Zappin, a broken left hand, so he will not return. What a heartbreak for him in the biggest football game of his life. Brady, hands off inside. I mean, both quarterbacks are so good at ball handling. Even after they've handed off and carrying out their fake, they're still drawing defenders. Both teams are biting. Brady says he loves this option. He had trouble with it at first. So many decisions to make. He said, now I just love it. He says the coaches have worked with me so much on it that I feel really comfortable running it. He obviously has the physical tools to carry it off.
A guy like Brady will give defensive coordinator nightmares.
I can see why. 2nd and 7 for the Indians. Shackelford in motion. Brady keeps. Not tripped up. Across the 40. Snowed under at the 35 after a 10-yard pickup.
See, going back to the option, faking the dive, Brady comes down the line, decides to keep the ball, and he turns upfield, and a host of Belding defenders just kind of ducks up under him to avoid major contact.
Well, it's so hard to gauge speed team-wise when you're looking at a football team and a scouting report, but when you see it live, you can truly understand what Coach Jim Zappin was talking about. And it's the fastest football team he's ever been associated with. Ball given off. Turner breaks a tackle, muscles toward the 30. We have a Belding player down, slow to get up. Darian Rowland, and he's okay.
And for as much speed as Chesaning had, you don't find guys trying to run around outside all the time. They get what they can get outside, and they get their shoulders up toward the field and running toward the goal line, which is very smart. The game is played between the goalposts. The shortest distance between the straight line is between each point, a straight line. And they run north and south, even with the speed that they have.
2nd and 7. Brady hands it off to Turner. Forced to the outside on the short side of the field and goes out of bounds at the 28. Andy Firestein there to make sure he didn't turn the shoulders. 4-yard pickup. A flag on the play.
Got a hold here.
Again against the Indians. It cost him a 2-point conversion moments ago.
Go back.
And now it would cost him 10 yards.
Down right where the ball is. Okay, 10 from here, Don.
I don't know if we'll see the holding here, but as you see, Turner looks upfield and decides to bounce it outside. And he's got enough speed to get around the corner there, pick up positive yardage.
Hard to tell who was the guilty party. In the pile, it looked like one Belding player was pulled down. So it's back at the 40. 2nd and 15 for Jim Zappin's crew. Boy, he is much more fiery on the sidelines than he is before the game. He was a picture prone prior. Brady throws, caught Ballard, couldn't break the blue-fingered tackle of Art Raby. And Ballard has broken more than his share tonight.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Raby makes a touchdown-saving tackle because every time they've thrown this pass to Ballard in the first half, it was a touchdown. And if he doesn't make this tackle again, Ballard's going to walk into the end zone. I'm surprised that they're covering him with one man right now. I would have to put 2 men on him because he's already proven that he can beat one man in open field and go in for the score.
Problem is with that Chesaning option and movement on the left side, the left tackle for the Indians. I believe it's Zara Maldonado who drew the flag.
A dead ball false start. Here, third again.
Yeah, it was Maldonado. A little more than 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter in a 4-point game. Brady walks him up to the line. 3rd and 12 for the Tribe. Brady to throw. Rolling right. Finds a man. But the pass is knocked away.
Brings up 4th and 11. I think they're going to go for it.
Pass was intended for Shackelford. Broken up by Josh Beeman.
Chesaning hasn't punted a great deal tonight, if they've punted at all. I don't remember if they have. As you can see, you got the isolation on Shackelford here. He runs down about 25 yards and tries to come back to the ball, but doesn't get quite a chance to get to it. Broken up by Belding's defense.
Slipped just a little, and that may have been part of the reason why it was incomplete. But Beeman was there defending, number 22. 4th down and 12 for Chesaning. Brady rolling. Getting some time to throw. Stepping up. Heaves it. And it's knocked away by the Redskins. Bobby Mosier, who's been in that position several times tonight, makes the play on the tip.
Although it's 4th and 12 and you throw across your body across the field into traffic, you know, it's kind of a high percentage play actually, because if they intercept it, you can probably down them inside the 10 or 15 yard line. So they're just taking a chance.
It's almost like a punt.
Exactly. I don't think it's a bad play at all.
So let's see what Belding has up its sleeve. I would venture to say number 32 is a part of their plan. Ball given off to Fawcett instead on the short side. And he is swarmed under by a sea of black. A 1-yard gain. Shackelford, a part of that team tackle for Chesaning, along with Adam Belding.
And again, Fred, we talked about it earlier. The names you call on Chesaning's offense are some of the same names you're going to call on their defense. How long can these guys play? Because it's not like they're playing a 3-yard in a cloud of dust team. They've been running up and down the field on both sides of the ball.
Coming up on 4 minutes to play in quarter number 3. nothing happening on that running play. We've also got a flag.
That was Zappa, broke hand and all.
And how about that, Matt Zappin? We were told probably would not return. There's some toughness for you. Despite that broken hand, he wants to be a part of the state championship final.
Number 4, dead ball, personal foul. Dead ball, personal foul here.
And Matt was called for the foul.
Just a moment ago, Matt was trying to stage escape to the referee. What happens a lot, what he was trying to say is, listen, I don't know if the quarterback's got the ball or not, so I'm going to go ahead and take him out anyway.
Not only did he lower the shoulder on the tackle, kind of almost gave him a forearm punch, and Dad is arguing more as a father right now than he is as a head coach, perhaps.
I think so.
At least 50-50 anyway. He's giving the side judge an earful. 1st and 10 at the 48 of Chesaning. Ball given off inside. Paul Cummings, and he's stacked up near the 45. A pickup of 3 for the Redskins. 3.5 left in a turning third quarter clock. Probably the best defensive sequence we have seen back-to-back by both teams.
Yes, we have.
Almost seems like an oddity. There you see the Cummings brothers. Look at the per carry average. Wow. And they've combined for 239 yards. Ball given off to Brent Cummings. Football's out. The Indians,
they don't know who had it. Can't stop fighting.
Look like they recovered.
There's no indication as of yet.
And judging by the reaction, it's Belding football.
Okay.
It looked like the Indians had recovered initially.
Ball's given to Brett Cummings. He kind of stumbled in there, and I guess, I don't know if the ball came out before he hit the ground or not. Obviously it did. They didn't blow the ball dead. And the ball was just fumbling around there. No one could come up with it until the Belding player obviously came up with the ball.
Looked like a piece of turkey on the turf as they were going for it.
Yeah.
Jeff James is the one who forced that ball loose. Belding ball 3rd and 7. Just outside the 45. Pass complete to Brent Cummings. He's also their leading pass catcher. And he's forced out of bounds by Anthony Shackelford. I believe he's shy of the first down, depending on the spot.
All of their passing plays are off play action fakes in the backfield. They run the ball so much, they have to hold those linebackers in to make sure they can get their people in the secondary.
If you take it, we're going to go 5 back from the 3, so it'll be 3rd and about 15, or 3rd and 13. You decline it where the ball is there, and it's going to be awfully close to a first down. You'll take it back, sure.
Another late flag, and this one was thrown at the opposite side of the field.
Got an illegal motion here. 3rd again.
Was he trying to tell him which way to take the ball? He said if you take it here, it's going to be awfully close to a first down. Never heard a referee tell a player that before.
Hey, we never heard of a referee losing a coin toss either, like we did yesterday between the Lions and Steelers.
The old heads, tails.
Ball at the 49-yard line of Belding. They now face a 3rd and 13 situation. Will Ancliffe throw it? He may be forced to here. Split wide to the left is Cummings now instead of being in his customary role in the backfield. He's now a wide out. Ancliffe will probably look for him. Sets up, changes his mind. Has some blockers in front. He could pick up a first down himself, perhaps. The pursuit is there.
It's going to be close.
And Ancliffe is awfully close to that first down.
I don't think he got it.
Andy McAlpine is slow to get up, and Ancliffe is hurting. He took a lick. This is when you lay it all on the line in your final game. Certainly of the season, and for the seniors, perhaps the final game of their careers.
You just got players laid on everyone on this play. There's someone down on the Chesaning sideline.
Both McAlpine and Ancliffe are seniors and probably playing in their final football game.
He's trying to keep an eye on that first down mark, and you can see him put his head down and try to go forward. Don't know if he got it. Might have taken a shot in the stomach, maybe just gotten the wind knocked out of him.
Let's hope so. I think you may be right, Stan. He's starting to breathe a little easier. But Cummings, the certain #1 option on this play, was covered well in that backfield by Derek Hill.
He had a lot of time back there, Ancliffe did, and he was looking and started scrambling around, and obviously you can see there where Cummings was covered, so he decided to scramble and try to run for the first down. And as we're looking at the yard marker here, it indicates 4th down. Looks like he's going to be about a foot short.
So Wayne Rodell has made his decision on 4th down. Richard Mason will check in as the quarterback. Seldom used, but now he has to step up in the Class B championship game. And the affirmation of being short. Mason was actually the starting quarterback for this ball club a year ago, but then he had an off-season car accident that slowed his summer progress, and basically he lost his job to Ancliffe because of it. And now he gets thrown into the limelight here in the title game. I would think we would see Ancliffe returning pretty soon. 4th down. The drama continues to build as the clock continues to turn. Mason, you know, he's calling coming off the bench. Ball handed off to Cummings. Flag on the play. If it's motion, perhaps because of a new quarterback, a brand new cadence. And it's got to throw your rhythm off as an offense, right, Stan?
It absolutely has to, but I can imagine the young man Mason lied in his bed last night, wondering if he's going to get an opportunity to play.
Everybody in the offensive line took off. Ball got up late.
Yeah, that's got to be it. It's just a different play call right now. And it's not like Mason plays a lot during the season, at least not this year.
Yeah. But I think I would punt it right here because I think you don't want to turn the ball over this close to your own territory.
Ancliffe returns. 4th and 6. But it's not like the knight on the white horse coming in because Ancliffe is not a thrower. He's got Cummings again, flanked wide to the left. Marcus will throw on the roll-up. Cummings again is covered. Flips it off. Out of desperation, Cummings fumbled, but I believe after he was down, and it didn't matter anyway, because on 4th down, the Indians with a defensive stand.
And see, now you get this high-powered offense, the ball at midfield. I'm not sure if that's what you really want to do.
Gene Bonner with a tackle.
As a matter of fact, I know it's not what you want to do.
That's for sure. Brent Gross was also there.
I mean, that's what we talked about earlier. When you're a team that's a predominant running team, when there's an obvious passing situation against a tough defense, you don't have a lot of options to go to.
That's a quarterback saying, please, Paul, bail me out.
You take it. It's a little hot for me.
So the Indians take over inside a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. The scoring tempo has slowed remarkably. Brady, and he's snuffed out on the option. Patrick Brown came up huge, and a 3-yard loss.
It's interesting you say that the slowing tempo had slowed down, and we talked about being a basketball game. When you watch teams run up and down the court like they do in the NBA, and as it get closer towards the end of the game, that's when people start doing their set offense, and they start to be a little bit more methodical to their approach. And it seems that's what's happening right here with both teams.
Let's face it, The defenses know they need to come up big for their teams. They haven't done it tonight, and now they are. Brady, a quick drop. Throws, caught near side, Ballard, but he's wrapped up by 3 Redskins. Raby was there, along with Mosier, to make sure that the very crafty and speedy Ballard, who gets up limping, did not go very far.
That's not a good sign. Ballard got up limping, and as he got to the sideline, he's lying on the ground again.
We have played 3 quarters of football. A Hollywood scriptwriter couldn't have come up with more angles to this plot. 12 minutes to play in the Class B title game. Belding and Chesaning. What a battle they have waged so far, and another quarter to play. Chesaning by 4 as they face a 3rd and 5 at the Belding 46-yard line. Brady under center, man in motion for Chesaning. It's McAlpine rolling with Brady. He's going to run it. Has some room. Turns the corner. A bump didn't come. He got the first down and a 9-yard pickup. There's a smart quarterback play.
Yes, it was. He realized that he only had a short amount of distance to go for the first down. He rolled out, and once he realized and made his mind up to run, he turned into a full sprint. He looked, he said, everybody's covered. I must get the first down. As you can see him turning in the 5th gear, running, sprinting for the sideline, getting the first down, and getting out of bounds. No need to take any unnecessary hits this late in the ballgame. They need Ryan Brady.
Excuse me, Stan. Brady's an example of that speed training. He used to be a 4.9. Now he's a 4.6. And you saw it there.
He looks faster than 4.6.
1st and 10. Brady handing off to the up man. First man through the fullback. Adam Beldiga is getting more playing time than normally because of the hand injury to Zappin. A pickup of 6 on the play for the Indians. The defenses, though, not making as many tackling mistakes, Dan, as they did in the first 2.5 quarters. Why?
I think at halftime, that's one of the things that the coaches talked about is stress that you must be a better tackler. A lot of the touchdowns came earlier from missed tackles.
Single setback is Turner. Brady in the option. Turns it up himself. Hits a white wall at about the 26 and a 3-yard gain. So the one-time high school nose tackle for Chesaning, undersized to be sure.
I was going to say, looks a little small to be a nose tackle.
But that's what he played.
Tough as nails.
They will measure here.
Now there's a nose tackle.
Absolutely, Wayne Rodell. He played college ball, as we mentioned, at Adrian. By the way, a teammate of Charlie Odluski, who will coach tomorrow night in the Double B championship game with Haslam.
Well, that's a great story.
3 inches. May even be 4 or 5, perhaps. What's a couple of inches among friends?
Exactly.
But there's that name Irv Siegler again we talked about. You know, Siegler, the former Belding coach, also coached Otluski, the Hazlitt coach, up at Sheboygan. So it's kind of a subplot to these title games that we're seeing.
Absolutely.
And Siegler's name continues to come up. Third down and less than a foot. Might we see Brady himself? Now, hand off to the fullback. Belding bangs it in across the 20-yard line. A determined run there. Made it and then some. A 7-yard gain.
Yes, it was. Just a dive straight to the Belding up the middle. And no doubt about it. Puts his shoulders down and just keeps his legs driving. Gets the first down and much more.
4-point difference. Ball at the 19. 1st and 10. Turn to the long setback. Gets the pitch from Brady. Bounces his way across the 20. No gain on the play.
Turner stumbled on that play, and that comes from probably kids not having a lot of times playing on AstroTurf. You must get your knees up, and anytime your feet scrape across the ground, it's going to bring you to the ground. You got to keep your knees high and run. It's just like running on carpet in your living room. If you don't watch it, you'll trip and fall.
Don't forget, we'll join Fox Sports News Primetime. All the day's news, including college football and Ricky Williams' big day. A record-setting day for the Longhorn. Highlights coming up on Fox Sports News Primetime after the ball game. We should run some highlights of this one. Brady turns it left side this time. And he's hard-tied by Andy Firestein. We haven't called his name very much in this ball game. Certainly not as much as we suspected. An all-conference performer.
Yeah, I think that speed has nullified his effectiveness to be able to make the plays that he's been making all year long.
Good point, Stan.
As you watch, I thought Brady should have probably pitched this, and it's easy for me to say that up here. But the pitchman Turner had a clear lane in front of him, and Brady decided to keep it in Turner field to get positive yardage.
3rd down and 4. In 4th down territory, the Indians. It's Belding again. Breaks free. Touchdown! The Indians go back in front on a 13-yard run, adding to their lead, actually, 40-30, as Adam Belding, a seldom-used fullback, with a star-quality run there.
This Belding on that dive play again, puts his head down and just keeps driving, breaks free, and sprints right into the end zone. The team that has the ball has the momentum.
And now Anderson to try to tack on the extra point. It's good. 41-30. Chesaning with a lead of 11. But you know this game is far from over. 8:58 to play. Belding gives his team a momentary breath of fresh air. 41-30. Chesaning padding their lead, but it is precarious at best. It's the Ultimate Fan League on Fox Sports Detroit. Think you know your sports trivia? Well, we've got the game show for you. Join host Bill Dwyer for the freshest, funniest, and most irreverent sports game show you've ever seen. The Ultimate Fan League, weekdays at 5:30 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit. The Indians trying to hang on for dear life, even though they do now lead by 11. But Belding, fresh legs in the second half, comes up with a huge 13-yard run to give his team the pad they now enjoy. Chesaning's biggest lead in the game has been 13, but that meant nothing as the Redskins came back.
We talk about the linebacker Andy Firestein, why he's been nullified. As you can see, he gets run out of there because he was chasing the option, and the option wasn't coming that play, but he wanted to make sure he got wide to protect the perimeter, and his son Belding right up the middle for a touchdown.
So Belding could possibly tie this thing with a touchdown, a two-point conversion, and a field goal. But still 2 scores. So they have to be proficient, not only yardage-wise in this drive, but also be mindful of the clock. The Cummings boys in the backfield. Ball given up to Paul, the fullback. Breaks a tackle. He's had great success on the quick hitter as he gets across the 30 with an 11-yard pickup. Adam Anderson brought him down. What makes that play so tough to defend?
Well, I think because of the counter coming back, you're not sure exactly who's going to have the ball. I think it starts with the ball fix from the quarterback. And again, they cover the ball so well. I've never seen a team drilled that strongly where they cover the ball and you really don't know what happened. I think as the game go along, you know, you and I and the camera crews kind of figured out where the ball is going to be. But as a defender, you have to be careful. You cannot overplay it.
We don't do it without serious concentration, I can tell you that. Antcliffe gives it off to Brett Cummings. Boy, he almost broke it big. Gets across the 35, picks up 7. That young man with a shoulder injury we talked about in Game 7, the doctors told him at that time, we think your season is done. And Paul said, it can't be. I'm going to come back. And he reworked his shoulder a little bit early, had it re-examined at U of M, and got the stamp of approval from Lloyd Carr to come back to play. And when the headmaster of the Wolverines said, go for it, he did last week and rushed for 107 yards and a win, and has 123 tonight. Antcliffe again to Cummings. Stops short of the 40 on a 2nd and 4 call. So he's close to the first down stick. On to pick up a 3.
That's a very determined young man. I think what also talking about what makes the Belding offense so special is when they go in and fake the ball, they'll go in the line of scrimmage. Once you have the ball, you're kind of a marked man. But those guys are getting in the line of scrimmage. And then it's exactly what happened. Can you see that? I mean, the Chesaning player, like, listen, I know I had him. I should have had him for a bigger loss than what we had. And this is one of the biggest plays of the ball game right here. 3rd and 1.
At the 40. They need to get just shy of the 41. Ball given off. 1st down and more. Paul Cummings even nudged by his own offensive lineman, Nate Brown, as he gains 8. But valuable time is ticking away, although it stops on the 1st down. 7:01 to play. And the Redskins trying to come back. Full house backfield for Chesaning. Ball given to Cummings. Brent tripped up at midfield. Picked up 3 more. But we're not seeing the big bursts that we saw earlier in the game.
No, we have not. It's one thing when you're tired, it's easier to tackle tired than it is to break tackles when you're tired. And the tackles that were being broke early in the game are not being broke now. You can deliver a pretty good blow, and you can almost be assured that a tired ball carrier is going to pretty much go down.
I love that analogy, though. As the head coach coming out to midfield to try to pump up his troops. Wow, 6.5 to play. Chesaning hanging on for dear life. Well, some of these fans beside themselves with anxiety and emotion all wrapped up in one. That's on the Chesaning side as we go back to work. 2nd and 8 at the 49. Fake handoff, and then it's Fawcett. Not nearly as quick. And he's banged down by the little but fiery safety, Matt Zappin. Broken hand and all.
One of the things that Joe talked about on the sideline there, and we talked about earlier in the open, is that most of the guys for Chesaning play both ways, and we thought at some point that the fatigue factor would come into play. It has not yet. These guys are still playing, and they're still in this ball game, and I haven't seen the guy get tired or not shown that he's able to finish his ball game out.
3rd and 8. Ball handed off to Brent Cummings. And a leap over one tackler who had fallen well short of the 1st down. About 3.5 yards shy. Adam Anderson made the tackle. So it is 4th down coming up for the Redskins.
Now, Fred, I believe we've talked about it all game, that momentum swinging back and forth. This could very well possibly be the ball game here.
The biggest play call of the year, and perhaps of the last 2 years for the Redskins at Belding, as their 25-game win streak hangs in the balance.
Surprised they didn't call a timeout.
They need to get to the 38. They go to the horse Cummings. 1st down!
Oh, my God.
Brett Cummings. Almost nonchalant the way he
really did.
Picked up the yardage down to the 40.
It's just like, yeah, I'm going to get this 1st down. I just want you guys to know that. I mean, 4th down, less than 6 minutes to go in the ball game, the state championship game, and you just run an off-tackle play trying to pick up a 1st down with 5 yards to go. I mean, that's confidence in your running game. They've done it all year long. Why not continue to do it?
He sure has the self-assuredness of a Division I big-time player. 1st and 10 at the 40. Ball given off again to Cummings. No, it's Antliff on a keeper. Excuse me. They're just so good at faking that football.
We talked about the fakes, the fakes, the fakes. Fred, I wasn't quite sure, and I don't think anybody else really known too. If you notice how his posture is, I mean, it takes a lot of discipline to do this. He's faking. He wants you to think that he's faking right now. You see him slow down? He wants you to think that he's faking, and he finally recognized that you recognize that he has the ball. Then he decides to take his arm off and start to sprint. He comes around the corner here, and his posture, his running motion, and look at our cameraman, that I really don't have the ball, and most of the defense bought it.
They've lost me twice. And there's still time to go. Paul Cummings inside, and he's smacked down hard at the 19. Officials trying to pry him loose.
What do you got?
Chesaning is saying they recovered the ball. I don't think so.
Second down.
Yeah, he was down. I mean, well after the whistle.
I don't think so either. Maybe we can find it here on the replays. Just a dive up the middle to actually a trap play to Paul Cummings. Oh, I don't know. That ball looked like it may have come out.
Wow. So they saw it on the big board here, and the Chesaning fans booing. 2nd and 10. Antliff rolling, flipping. Paul Cummings trying to get to the end zone. Touchback.
Oh, great run. Great run. Great run.
3:49 to play, and the Redskins draw back within 5.
Talk about vision. I was just going to criticize the Belding coaching staff. Looked like they were running out the clock. Time is winding down, and they're constantly running the ball. There's less than 4 minutes left of the game. They need 2 scores.
But they do get into the end zone as Cummings gets his 3rd touchdown of the game. And this time a 19-yarder.
I mean, absolutely great awareness by Paul Cummings.
If they get the 2, they will then be a field goal shy of Chesaning. Man in motion, Foster. Giving to Brent Cummings. Oh, easy. Easy does it. He picks up 2 again.
He just tiptoed in. Look at that. I mean, there's no way I could be that calm.
He's the coolest guy on the turf. The athletic director for Belding. All right, here's the touchdown, not the 2-point conversion. Again, Antliff to Cummings.
Watch the awareness of Paul Cummings. He catches the ball. He's not going to just try to go out of bounds. He locates everybody on the field and realizes he's got a cutback lane on the inside and just walks into the end zone.
And then the 2 points tacked on by Brother Brent.
Tremendous upfront blocking by the Belding offensive line. This allowed Brent Cummings just to push his way right into the end zone.
So Belding with 11 plays in the drive. Took a little longer than they would have liked, 5:09, but certainly time to make a defensive stop and get the football back. Coach Zappin desperately needs some first downs.
Now this Belding defense has been playing quite well. I don't know, and if I'm them, I don't know if I'm going to onside kick. I think I may trust my defense to give me the ball back. And let me take the last shot at the buzzer.
Yeah, I think it's too early for that too. This has had every imaginable aspect of a football game rolled into 48 minutes.
Absolutely.
We've had turnovers, we've had costly penalties, we've had brilliant touchdown runs and passes, spirited tackling, guys fighting through injuries. It literally has had it all. So Bobby Mosier to tee it up.
Oh no, here comes the onside kick now.
It's at the near hash.
Ball's got to travel 10 yards.
Mosier needs to get it past midfield. Does so easily though. Recovered by Chesaning. And at the bottom of the pile is Brad Mikey, who comes through. One of their starting linemen. Fox Sports Detroit's coverage of the MHSAA Championships brought to you by the United Dairy Industry of Michigan. proud sponsor of the MHSAA Sports Nutrition Award, and by MC Sporting Goods. Gear up for the holidays at your store of dreams. So the ball at the 50-yard line. Brady and company want to burn clock. They wouldn't mind some points in that pursuit. Brady gives it to the up man. It is Belding, who scored the last Chesaning touchdown. Picks up a couple of yards. 2 to be exact. Now that clock continues to tick away.
They use their timeouts wisely. They have 2 left.
Anthony Turner checks in for Belding. A little more speed in that exchange. Turner is the tailback. Brady in the option, down the line, turns it up. Almost broke that tackle. Gets to the 40. He may be a little shy of the first down. But it's a huge play for Chesaning.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I think what Chesaning also was trying to do is, as you saw Brady come down the line, he headed toward the sideline and cut up field and didn't want any parts of the sideline. He wanted to make sure he stays in bounds and keep that clock moving.
Brady has been brilliant tonight. 16 carries rather, 106 yards. Plus he has passed for over 150. One of the stars of this one. Hand off Belding. Has the first down. A punishing run to the 35. It'll stop the clock momentarily at 2:25 to play, but now Belding is in some trouble. Because Chesaning will be able to burn more time. Jim Zappin telling his team now to be more deliberate.
Now you got to start taking some chances. You do want to stop the ball carrier, but the second man in has got to come in and try to strip the ball or cause a fumble. They need a turnover somehow.
So at the 35. Coach Roydell helpless now to try to get the football back. Brady stuffed. He may have picked up a half a yard. Officially, there'll be a no gainer.
They got to use a timeout now.
Keith Shirens, a backup linebacker, made the play. Stops the clock with 1:51 to, actually 1:50 to play. Coming up immediately following this telecast on Fox Sports News Primetime. The guys in LA will have all the highlights of the day. Nebraska playing Colorado. Texas and Texas A&M and a great finish. Plus college hoops from Puerto Rico. All coming up on Fox Sports News Primetime. Also highlights of the Wings and Canucks. The turning point of this ball game when it was 28-22, Stan.
As you watch it, just a simple pass in the flat to Paul Cummins, and didn't protect the ball, caused a fumble. That came back to the option pass to Turner, made it 34-22. That was the turning point of the ball game, folks.
It gave him a 12-point cushion. He's since gone back and forth. It's now a 3-point game. 1:50 left. 2nd and 10 for the Indians. One more first down, this game could be over. Brady the handoff to Belding. Nothing. Excuse me, Turner.
Yeah, they got to use another timeout now.
He got to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Clock continuing to run. 3rd down and 10. Certainly the Indians will use both these plays. They're deep enough they don't need to punt.
I think you use the timeout before this play because the 4th down and the change of possession, the ball's going to stop the clock anyway.
Brady rolling left, looking for room, nowhere. He's going to be sacked out at the 41. A loss of 6. And 1:01 left to play. Patrick Brown was there to meet Brady. The final timeout taken by Belding. But Stan, if the Redskins get the ball back, they can't possibly afford to go to their bread and butter running game. They just won't have enough time.
All year long, they've gotten to this point by running the football. I think at some point in the year, you got to picture yourself being in a situation where you just have to pass. And I think this may come to time when the things that got him here is probably one of the things that's going to keep him from possibly winning a championship.
Well, even short dump-off passes to the Cummings boys. They have 13 touchdown receptions between them this season. Paul has 7, Brent has 6. And not only just dump-offs, but long passes, as we've seen tonight. Brent Cummings split as a flanker.
When you look at 317 yards rushing by Belding, you figure that game you're supposed to win. But 247 by Chesaning is not bad, but you got to add those long passes from Brady to Ballard to add on to that, which is the reason why Chesaning's winning at this point.
The Belding students doing everything they can. The sack forcing a punt. Came close to being blocked.
That's like a rotation where it's going all.
And a good boot.
Oh, excellent boot. Oh, my God.
Belding all the way back to the 2-yard line.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
Adam Anderson with maybe the punt of his life. Certainly never had more of a pressure kick than that one.
Somebody's living right.
Not even in the backyard when he was pretending the Lions were facing the Packers. 47 seconds to play.
And 98 yards to go.
They need John Elway.
Yes, they do.
Can they get him on loan? This is what Elway did against the Browns, of course, in the AFC playoffs once upon a time. Cliff obviously is going to have to throw here. The way they run it surprises me. That really surprises me.
It doesn't surprise me because I go back to the cat and mouse game. They think we're going to throw, so maybe we'll run. Well, I know that they think that we think that they're going to throw, so we're going to make sure that we protect the run also.
But you're at your 5-yard line. Now does throw. Being pressured. Gets away from the safety. Antcliffe running. Also running out of time.
Oh, he's got to get to the boundary. Oh, he's got to get to the boundary.
25, yep.
Yeah, he's got to get out of bounds.
It stops the clock on the first down with 15 seconds to go.
I mean, obviously no one's up here chasing me, but he looked right at the sideline. I thought he was headed forward.
Antcliffe spiking the ball to stop the clock. His only recourse with 12 ticks left.
I think the answer is probably 2 shots. One a little bit past midfield, hopefully for a jump ball, a tip ball, or a penalty. And then from that point, another one to either get to the end zone or get you close enough to get in field goal range.
Jim Zappin, 12 seconds away from a Class B championship, but he needs one more defensive stand. Crowd going absolutely bananas on the Chesaning side. And a flag is thrown, delay of game against Belding.
Oh my God.
The crowd certainly was a part of that factor.
Second again.
Ball at the 20. Think he's working hard?
I don't know if he just called a double pass or not, but it sure sounded like it. And what a double pass is a lot of times you throw it to a man hooking and he catches, give it to another man coming around him.
Hook and lateral. Pass complete. Cummings is bumped down hard at the 39-yard line. Clock continues to tick down to 5 seconds. Ballard and Turner beating Cummings. They're going to have to hurry.
He's going to try to down it here and just throw it in the end zone on the next play.
One last gasp.
He's going to down it here. Yeah.
With 3 seconds to go.
Yeah. Now he's got 2 hopes here. I don't know if he can make it to the end zone from there because I don't know if he's got that kind of arm.
They've got to try the hook and lateral here, don't they?
Yeah, well, that or try to throw it down there and hopefully get a penalty, and then you have one more play and try to kick a field goal from there. They're probably going to the last page of the playbook for this one. And why not? Because it's the last play of the high school season.
A page that is clean and unwrinkled because it hasn't been used in a long, long time. Belding not accustomed to this position. Listen to the crowd.
This is it. This is the high school championship here.
Andrew will throw. Caught. Hook and lateral. Twice. It's over. Chesaning has won the Class B championship.
It doesn't get better than this, Fred. It does not get better than this.
Chesaning, in their first ever trip to the Silverdome, comes up with one of the greatest games in Michigan high school history in a state championship setting. The Redskins of Belding were a part of the Game of the Ages with Country Day in 1992. Now they're on the flip side in a remarkable ball game, and it really is a crime that somebody had to lose this one.
In my opinion, there's no losers in this game. This is an absolutely fantastic game here. I mean, you're talking about everything you would ever want in a high school football game. This is what high school football is about. You can't get any better than this, Fred. You just can't.
Brett Cummings will close the book on his high school career, but he'll open another one in Ann Arbor in the fall. But what a football game as the Indians spring the upset, handing Belding his first loss in 26 high school games, carrying a championship back to the Flint area. And we'll say Class B.